Hi, and welcome to Week 14's Mncl Insider Report with your host, Big Daddy Woo of the Dallas Cowboys. Guys, we are off to an awesome start this week, Week 14. Ton of games got played, and it's exciting to see the pace that we're on right now to finish out this season. Couple of points I want to touch on before we get into some scores and players of the game. I've had opportunity to take a look at some of the stats from this week's games, and typically after progression weeks, and I think there was last week or the week before, you see a change in the quality of play, and I've seen an increase in interceptions, something that I'm definitely aware of and definitely will make an attempt to correct. I've had some ideas dropped my way by other coaches, and more than likely I'll adjust it without editing cornerback catches and awareness, as that does decrease their overall rating. The one way I've found to be most successful is to adjust the defense's awareness within Madden itself. So I'll be tampering with that a little bit. Not a lot, as I don't want to change the play that we've been used to all year, but I do see the need to decrease the high amount of interceptions. I mean, my team itself, the last 2 weeks, I think the quarterback rating was 0 and 6 or something like that. The last two rating, and that's just not a realistic play or a football game. So I'll definitely be looking into that before the release of next week's file. Also, remember that we got a roster freeze coming up at the end of Week 15, so be sure to get all the trades or roster moves you need to have done before the end of next week. Remember that we will have a roster freeze, but right after the Super Bowl, trading and the free agent open right back up. So I mean, it's just a freeze so that I can begin to count the number of free agents the team will have, and it just prevents people from picking up players that they really don't want over 75 overall and just cutting them next year and keeping their good players. But enough with that, and let's just take a peek at some of the players of the game from Week 14 and some of the scores. We had Derrick Johnson lead the Chiefs with 5 tackles, 3 sacks, 1 interception, as they defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers 44-20. That game was played before Keith went to the Army, and just the stats was added. So again, the Chiefs dominate the Steelers to remain in first place in their conference. Elsewhere, you had the Oakland Raiders defeat my Cowboys 26-10, which is a huge upset and probably a huge smack in the face, because the player of the game was Samari Rowe, who had 2 tackles and 2 interceptions. And he was a member of the Super Bowl champion Cowboys team last year, so I mean, I guess he stuck it in my face. You got the Bears 31 over the Bengals 6. Nathan Basher, again, with 2 tackles, 3 interceptions to lead the Bears over the Bengals. You had the Panthers 23-17 over the Saints, and Thomas Davis 10 tackles, 1 sack, and he had 2 interceptions. Titans 23-16 over the Texans. You got Cullen Jenkins 6 tackles, 1 sack, 1 interception to lead the Titans. Colts 40-11 over the Rams. Marlon Jackson had 11 tackles and 1 interception. Super job by JJ and the Colts. They just continue to impress me, and that team is going to have to be dealt with sooner or later by somebody in the AFC. You got the Falcons 17-6 over the Redskins. This was a shocker. Thomas DeCoud of the Falcons had 6 tackles, 3 interceptions, and you had the Browns 23-0 over the Packers. Leading the way for the Browns was Clint Centrum, 3 tackles, 2 interceptions, and you had the Broncos over the Chargers 23-20, and Odell Thurman, he had 11 tackles, 1 interception, and 1 forced fumble. And as you can see just from the stats, it has been a defensive week, and that is probably a clear picture of why we're getting such higher interception, that I believe the defensive players have benefited from progression, and it's obvious in the stats and the way some of these games have been played. Left to be played for Week 14 is the Eagles and Giants. I believe that game is already scheduled. Jets and Jaguars, guys, I don't see a schedule for you guys. Would you please take care of that ASAP for me, please? I got the Patriots and the Buccaneers. It appears that I'll have to probably sub against the Patriots. Cardinals and Seahawks. Ducks great. I don't see a schedule for you guys yet. You got the 49ers and the Lions. Shane is out. I'll probably have to sub that one as well, or get somebody to sub it. Shane and his roommate, which is the Ravens, spilled some type of liquid into the laptop, and it's not working. And so they'll be about a week before they can get back online. And last but not least, you got the game of the week, the Dolphins and the Bills. No schedule for you guys either. It'd be nice to see a schedule, and maybe even throw that one on X Live if at all possible, guys. It's going to be a pretty good game, and I would like to watch it just so I can see how the gameplay is as far as with the interception. Other than that, we're off to a great week. Let's keep it up. We got Thanksgiving coming up, so let's try to get these games in. I'll get the file advance. If we get the games played, I'll advance it early and then allow teams to have some extra time to play Week 15 and extra time to make some trades and whatnot if they need to. Oh yeah, and the Dallas Cowboys beat the Washington Redskins today, 7-6, to stay in first place in real NFL action. Hey, thank you guys, and I'll see you next week.